It's story time, and boy, is this one a doozy. Yesterday, I made a post about how I am taking some action on some things that I've always wanted to do. In 2003, I wanted to have a blog, and I've always wanted to do something to use my voice. That is a calling for me. I love to share my faith. I decided that this is the year that I'm going to stop caring about what people think of me and actually trying to pursue things that I want to do. If your dreams aren't delusional, then your dreams aren't bigger. So I was talking about dreaming delusional dreams. I made a post about that. I asked for podcast equipment for Christmas. I want to see where that takes me. And I'm just trusting God's plan for me and having blind faith. And if I don't understand, trying to just take action, because again, I'm at my midlife age and life has gone by and I've just kind of done the status quo, worked corporate America because that is safe and provides good benefits. I made this post. It's on all of my social media platforms. I have a lot. Make this post about having delusional dreams and announcing that I believe in the power of social contracts. It's just, there's power in stating your intention and putting it out to your friends or family, not because you care what they think, but because there's power in saying, I said I was going to achieve this, and you really have that people are pulling for you. You don't want to give up. Right before I go to bed, I get a notification and I go to look at it, and it is a family member. Now, when I say family member, I have a very, very large family. I'm the oldest of 44 grandkids on one side, and there's 33 or 26 on the other side. Don't just assume it's a sister. Or get a post, and it says something to the effect of, it's on my phone, so I can't read it, but it says something to the effect of, pretty closely, is what? This is what the post said. What, with all these question marks, isn't she going to therapy? So at first I'm kind of confused. And then I was like, who's she? I'm oh, she's talking about me. It's a girl. And she says, what? Isn't she going to therapy? I can't even, or she doesn't even look like herself anymore. I can't even look at her. Something to that effect. And then there's a meme or a GIF of Dr. Phil that says, delusional, do you have a mental illness? Okay. There's a couple, let's back up here. There's so much. Initially, I'm what? So I figure out, okay, somebody sent her my post. She thinks that she's replying back to this person. She doesn't realize that she's actually making a public post on my own post and that I can see it. I respond and I'm oh, I'm so sorry, so-and-so. I use their title in my family stuff. It was a cousin. I'm so sorry, cousin. Or I'm so sorry, auntie. I'm so sorry, uncle. I'm so sorry that this post bothered you so much. And I said, I want to thank you for reiterating that my dream is delusional, because you've said it's delusional, and that was my goal. But I also said it is highly inappropriate to make fun of somebody's mental health and their looks. And I addressed the fact that I did have a mental breakdown. My family has gone through so much. And this is the part that made me so upset, is this person has the privilege of being a family member and just knowing all the things that my family's gone through. My husband has cancer. My daughter has a rare brain diagnosis. I had a heart attack over COVID because of a blood clot and have all these sicknesses now. My son had to give up his football dreams, because he was started having seizures that they couldn't explain. This person has the privilege of knowing all of that, and yet makes fun of me for actually seeking treatment. So after my daughter had her surgery, her brain surgery, I did have this meltdown. I had these years. I've always been an anxious person, and there's 3 months time span that I can't even remember. And so I found it really shocking that in this day and age, we are still making fun of people for their mental health. Not only that, is someone very close in this person's family member has struggled with depression and is on medication for depression, and still found a reason to make fun of me for talking about wanting to have this delusional dream and start a podcast and share the lessons on all the things that I've gone through. I'm sure this person was completely mortified at 5:00 in the morning when they saw this post, because they deleted it. And then they sent me this message saying, you're right, I apologize. You just don't look like the little girl that I remember. Well, I would guess not, because I'm 50, almost 50. And we know darn well that's not what you were talking about. What you were talking about is the fact that I have eyelashes now, and I got teeth. I had some crowns that I had replaced, and they just did a whole thing on my teeth. I wear nails, I do all these things. That's what she was talking about. She wasn't talking about the fact that she missed the childlike of myself. But here's the thing, I'm making assumptions, and I should not do that. I responded and I said, and your heart doesn't look like what I remember either. And I said something like, you've given me content for my first podcast episode. I took a breath, said a prayer, got a private message with excuses, but also taking some accountability, saying that, our family is so private. This is what gets me. You have people that talk about content creators or anyone making some sort of comment or post that says you're on Facebook all the time, you're on Instagram all the time, you're posting all these TikToks. Well, how do you know? How do you know if you're not on there too? That's what I would like to ask. But you have these people, like these internet judgy sleuths, that sit back and they just make fun of people. And here's the sad part is like I was one of those people too. As I sat and reflected on how I was going to respond to her, I'm not guiltless in this. And I have done the same thing. This is a lesson for me too, is that you have to have grace for people if you want peace. And there's been, how many times have I gotten together with, friends or someone and we're like, oh my gosh, did you see this person's post? And you talk about it. And it's really uncouth. It's really sad. And it's really like, what's the point and what's the purpose? And if I'm going to sit here and talk about my faith, like I do, I love my faith. I love to talk about my faith. I love to try and inspire others with their faith. People in glass houses don't throw stones. I'm very guilty of this. And so now I need to practice grace and I need to let this go. And I am going to talk about this, but I'm talking about it in a way that, yes, I was hurt. Yes, I had this, how dare you? But that's ego. Okay. So you have to push ego aside and you really have to say, have I never done this before? No, I've done it many times. Have I gotten better? Have I stopped myself in my tracks? Yes, I have. People like to judge people when they're doing something different out of the norm. And that was the whole point of my post, is having delusional goals, having delusional dreams, and not letting what others think of you change your desired path or change what you feel God has called for you. So let that be a lesson to us all, is that we all make mistakes. We all act ugly. We all show the not so best version of ourselves, but do you learn from it? Do you confess to God? Do you ask to be better? Because that would be a tragedy if those things didn't happen. And so I would hope that this family member would try to be better next time and try to see the beauty in people and what they're doing. And the bottom line is, it is not your business what people think about you, even when they tell you. She flat out told me what she thought about me. She didn't know she was, but it is not my business what somebody thinks about me. That is between them and their God. That has nothing to do with me. And it's not going to change my behavior. It's not going to alter my plans anymore, because I've let it happen so far in the past. And now I'm at my midlife and I'm still trying to do something that I wanted to do 22 years ago because I worried about what people think. I hope that resonates with you in some way, but it is not your business what people think about you.